Welcome everyone, the global exclusive podcast. I know you all are starved for Miss the Tuesday, but luckily we have Drew who actually can tell us what the do and don't do, and not just like Sinzar who fucking sims for meta, right?
Gosh, yeah, Sinzar doesn't know anything about the game.
Sinzar literally listen. This is a hot take. Sinzar knows nothing about the game. The only reason why he is so good is because he keeps pulling meta units. Change my mind.
I'm sorry, Sins, we love you.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we did miss news, so we have twice to make up. Good thing it's gonna be a really short episode because there's no content.
I think we also missed last week's banner, but oh well, who cares about collabs?
Yeah, nobody, literally.
Yeah, go read the wiki ratings update instead.
Wait, we missed the entire banner, right?
Yeah, yeah, we did.
Well, I mean, probably nobody cared. I did. I pulled. I like Chrono Cross, so I pulled a bit at least. Did you get anything? Did you luck out?
No, I haven't even been doing EX tickets lately, mostly because I'm still putting off clearing up inventory space.
Oh, okay. I
I
see.
need to fuse down a bunch of 5 stars
Okay.
into SDMRs.
All right. So
But anyway,
anyway, yeah, we're not at that banner. I just got briefly because I was thinking of a banner that we actually missed. But anyway, we're actually talking about a new well, no, sorry, Final Fantasy 3 banner, right?
mhm,
And not Final Fantasy 3 as in the US release of Final Fantasy 6. That would be no. This is Final Fantasy 3, which like,
the JP.
sorry, what was that?
Because 1, 2, and 3 were Japanese only releases, right? That's why 4
No,
started as
were
1.
they?
Isn't that why 4, 5, 6 were originally 1, 2, 3 in US
Oh,
releases?
yeah, that could have been, but I could have sworn I've played, like on emulator, when I was a kid, I played Final Fantasy 1, but then maybe that was a fan trans, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I have not researched this.
Yeah. Who cares? All right, so it's a Final Fantasy nobody really cares about. It has a character called Onion Knight that everybody knows about, and also this dude called Ingus, who's probably the coolest, one of the cooler characters in FFBE almost. I really like the aesthetic. But is he a good
Wasn't it?
unit?
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to the game. I think wasn't like the Onion Knight versus Ingus whatever thing, like original versus remake. What I'm trying to say, like originally there was just the 4 Onion Knights, but then in the
Oh.
remake they turned into actual characters like Ingus and Refia and stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah, that could be true. Cause now that you say it, I have really poor memories of these games a long time ago, so I wouldn't be able to say. But that sounds plausible. Let's go with that.
That's
So we're getting
anyway.
two units, right? We're getting Ingus and Awakened Onion Knight NVA,
Yes,
and
he has been awakened once more.
he's been four fucking times awakened by now. And his sprite looks exactly the same like the actual Onion Knight NV version.
Yeah. I mean, that was something that was very much noted when Envy Onion Knight came out. But it was like, oh, this is just Awakened Onion Knight sprite again.
Yeah. And it's interesting because now I'm kind of jumping the gun here a bit, but it might turn out that the NVA is actually better than the NV now.
I mean, yeah, the Envy is super old and terrible.
Yeah, true. Got really done bad. Poor Onion Knight. Onion Knight has had like an interesting history in this game because like always been touted as the OP character on release, but like nobody ever used him, right?
I don't really think he was thought of as that OP. Like, I remember him being strong but really hard to chain for a while,
Yeah, but he was
which
like
was sort of.
Titus, but better. I remember everyone was saying, save for Orlando, then save for Titus, and fucking save for Onion Knight because Onion Knight was the best. That was
I
like
don't know.
back in the day.
I don't remember him being super touted and hyped, but
Okay,
maybe I'm
maybe
just
not, maybe
blocking
not.
that out.
Anyway, let's jump to the first unit. That's actually really interesting, in my book at least, in my Regina book. So it's Red Mage Ingus, and he
I,
seems to have a shift form, right?
yeah, I think his shift form is Geomancer Ingus because they
Yes,
they do all of the FF3 stuff, do like job swapping stuff.
and is a true Bration.
Yeah, that's always nice to see from
Very
JP.
refreshing and nice.
Yeah,
So, what can we say about his base form? Seems to be a mage and a buffer.
Yeah, I think that the primary thing that you're going to see his base form used for are like the 4 AoE imbues and amps he's got.
Right, he has
Though the amp,
Enfira and
yeah,
Watera, Aurora and Stone.
yeah, all of his stuff comes in the 4 FF3 crystal elements: fire, water, wind, and earth.
Right.
So there's variants for all of it. But
And
yeah,
he's
the
an
amp percents
excellent
are
choice
kind
of
of lower.
unit if you want to spend all of your crysts at fucking once. Because, like,
Yeah,
he
both
can
both
enhance all the magic.
yeah, but both of the units this week have like a lot of enhanceable black magic that will just drain all of your crysts if you've still got them.
Yeah, I don't. I actually ran out of the lowest, the smallest ones the other day when I was. I don't know even who I was upgrading. Somebody. So
But yeah, his actual magic damage probably not super high. Like his LB does a pretty decent mod boost for all his elemental chains, but even quadcasting those, it's not massive. Like because it's not even a very long duration buff. Like it's
it's
LB into 2 turns of buff chains.
right.
So it might be kind of okay for sustained damage, doing it 2 out of 3 turns.
Yeah, I
But
guess like
it's not he's not really intended to be a primary damage dealer.
no. I'm assuming like the use for the base LB is really to use that, and then shift and is what I'm thinking.
I don't even think it buffs Meteor, does it?
No, it has 300% magic.
Oh right, it's wait, Ingus doesn't have Meteor, does he?
Oh,
That's a
sorry,
weak
shit. I
link.
am just mixing up all the units. So no, Ingus doesn't have meteors. This is actually completely useless.
Yeah, no.
Now I spoiled the other unit we're gonna talk about. Okay,
But yeah, so he's just got some decently strong elemental chains, but not amazing.
yeah,
And then his shift form has what's probably his primary useful thing, which are his 4 imperil fields
right.
that are enemy only 35% resistance drops.
Which is very nice. So again, all the four
Yeah.
base elements of the crystals, right? And
Mm.
that's really nice. This is like a budget Tsuki for anyone that didn't
Mm.
pull Tsuki.
Yeah, and the fact that on demand is nice.
Yeah.
Well,
So unfortunately, I just told you
yeah.
this dream before we started the episode, but I've pulled 4 NVs on this banner already, and none of them were fucking Ingus. It's like the game doesn't want me to have Imperil field. It's that
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. He also has like kind of decent breaking capacity where like his shift LP does 85 attack and magic, 87 defense and spirit, but he's not really like the best at anything, I guess.
Yeah, he's almost like a rage.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades. The only thing I miss him having is kind of some type of stat buff. So does he have like Brave Guy and Faith Guy or something?
I don't think so.
No, he
I
doesn't. He
think
doesn't.
no. So he doesn't do stats, but he's elemental support and breaks.
Yeah.
But I think just thinking about like why he's not very hyped is the current meta very much favors being able to do one thing really well.
Yeah.
And if you're a global exclusive, you get bonus points if you can do one thing really well alongside some other useful stuff on the side, or do 2 things really well. But you sort of have to do at least one thing really well.
Right.
And this is kind of an older unit design of doing a bunch of things flexibly, but not at top tier. And that's just kind of fallen out of favor these days.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Like my hype for it is because in Regina comps, Ingus is actually really good. Just because he brings
Yeah.
4 different elements of Imperil Field, which is always going nice.
Yeah. But like because of the lower amps and stuff, like it's a bit of a hard sell to bring him purely for an Imperil field.
It
And if you're
depends.
doing amps and stuff as well, like Tsuki is better at supporting fire because she can do good personal damage and stuff. And then Nicole does water better, but for wind and earth, I guess is potentially the best slot because your alternatives for Imperial fields there are like Mog and Sea Card.
Yeah, exactly. I used Sigcard just the other day with Regina, so don't laugh. Like there is still use
Yeah,
for that, and this is an upgrade. So, and I mean, you don't bring
but yeah,
Sigcard for anything
yeah,
else other than Imperil Fields either. So,
yeah. He's like somehow both niche and versatile.
yeah, yeah. I
But
want to say interestingly
nothing
used. It's
too
actually an
crazy. Yeah, yeah.
interestingly designed. It
It's
is a
certainly
shame that our game is geared towards this type of unit not being. Like if Cesar was here, he was gonna be like, yeah, Ingus is absolute garbage. You cannot use this unit,
Yeah, probably.
and he wouldn't be wrong
But no, it's
in some
certainly
ways.
it's it's better design than we see from a lot of JP units.
Yes, for sure. But that's about it about the unit. Should we maybe mention the TMR or STMR? Are they any?
I think the TMR is just the standard like material flat materia for that series, so FF3 units.
Right.
But so that we've seen clones of that before for other series.
But the
Um,
STMR seems to be like an upgraded version of Carlette's STMR.
yeah, it's like an upgraded Red Hellebore, but now that like the Magister's crowns and stuff exist, it doesn't seem too crazy.
Yeah, it's nice to have some TDH on it. That's always nice. But otherwise, yeah, nothing too insane actually. The card is also very lackluster. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah,
nice for him, I guess, because he gets attack and magic. He only cares about the
yeah, it's
magic though.
okay for him and good for Awakened Onion Knight as well, I guess.
Yeah,
But yeah, again, like JP series unit, like Final Fantasy unit cards that are non-premium became pretty underwhelming.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's then jump to the next unit that actually might have some use, at least as well, which is already
Yeah,
the spoiled Awakened Knight.
Awakened Onion Knight.
Yeah, the Super Saiyan. And this, like, if you thought Ingus had a lot of spells to upgrade, well, think fucking again.
Mhm. So yeah, I mean, base form he pretty much still just has his old, massively cluttered kit,
Yeah.
none of which you want to use,
Yeah,
except
there's
for
literally
the
nothing good, right? He gets some envy abilities. He gets a ton of
well, he.
killers.
Yeah, gets good passives as usual, and one new active ability, which you do actually want to use, and you probably want to use the base LB to buff it as well if
Right.
you're doing that. But yeah, True
So
Twin
that's his
Swords.
physical burst, right?
Yeah, his base form is still physical and uses True Twin Swords for burst. If you have it hit twice with dual wield, it's got a pretty impressive modifier, about 5,500 total from
That's
the
not
hitting
bad.
twice. But yeah, his attack is just average, and True Dual Wield isn't getting good variance, so the damage of it is serviceable, but nothing too crazy.
Ah, too bad.
If you give him good like external amps and stuff and weapon imperils, it might be reasonably impressive, but I don't think it's really top tier.
I
Yeah,
haven't actually looked if any of the whale sheets have update units.
I'm not sure.
But
Since probably has, but
yeah,
yeah.
I don't actually yes, and he sucks.
Actually, I'm just going to quickly check. Does his LB boost? Does he have anything that like triple or quadruple tips on that? Because if he's got a quadruple, that might actually be decent sustained damage. I think it's only doubles though. Maybe one triple. Oh no, his shredders are quad. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
kind of just rambling mid episode.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
We're doing the
yes.
wiki rating math while we're also recording the episode.
Mm.
Sounds great.
But yeah, after his base LB boost, his shredder abilities should be at over 800 per cast and can triple them. So that's decent sustained chain output for like a trial.
Yeah,
It's got 4 elements of that. That could be useful.
nice.
Yeah.
So, and then he got a shift form actually,
Yep. That
and
is
he shifts
shift
into
form.
something entirely different. This actually is a pretty
Yeah.
interesting looking sprite, and it's a bit unique.
Shifts into his Sage job, which we've seen in like his CGLBs before, but not as the actual unit sprite till now,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And here
And then
is
yeah,
where, like, yeah, okay, so hold on. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spells to awaken, of which a whopping 7 are to +3. So, rest in
yeah.
peace, fucking Christs.
Or just ignore them because most of them you won't use.
Yeah, but like, what if, yeah, no, for sure. But here is where he has the meteor, right? You were
Yeah,
just doing some
yeah,
calcs before the episode.
yeah. Despite all of these spells, the one you're really going to care about is Meteor +2, same as Golbez. And he's basically just going to be a slightly worse Golbez because he has a lot less passive MP in his kit, so he's much harder to gear for, and slightly lower base stats, I think.
So
So
yeah,
yeah,
even at like maximum gear level, he might drop in just Golbez.
yeah, he'll be a bit below him, but a bit below Golbez right now. Still pretty good if you've got the Demon S card.
True, true. I wonder
But
where
like
Golbez clocks in on like whale sheets for. Okay, so that's weird. Oh
pretty
yeah,
high up.
he is still the top damage dealer right now. Golbez is like the strongest damage dealer. Right. This makes me so
Yeah,
sad. I don't want to
depends
use
on
fucking
killer
Golbez.
gearing, but
Sorry.
yeah, depends on how well you can get killers on him. But
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah.
yeah, there's the potential to be good.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, like yeah, so Onion Orbit can be close to as good as that, but it's also like because Golbez is an NVA, why why use Onion over him?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, maybe if you're whaled out and have two Demon S cards, you could use both.
Wow. Imagine having Demon S cards. That sounds actually sick.
Like, I'm not sure if you're saying this genuinely or because you have two Demon S
No, I
cards.
actually don't have two Demon S cards. I would love to. Although I guess like
Yeah,
one substitute is that's decent-ish is Oliveira's card. It's like
yeah,
not
that
as
that's
good.
that's the budget option, but it is a significant drop because of how Meteor scales.
Yeah.
You lose like at least 1,000 MP.
But yeah, I mean, like Golbez is the go-to for this DV. Like it is by far the strongest damage dealer right now. Just like go there, spam that meteor.
Well,
Like, would you even
not
need
by
to
far,
use?
but
Well, okay, not by. Like,
by a little bit.
do like do maximum damage with this fucker? Do like his own meteor buff skill and then Dark Rain's store and then burst, or does like magic not matter that much?
From memory, the actual like mod boosts he can do are very minimal and not really worth it.
And
So I
how
think
about
you
a
pretty
magic
much
store? Would that
just
would
do.
that matter too
Yeah,
much?
yeah. Yes, you definitely want to use focus on him if you've got that materia.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I see that Sinzar calculates 300 focus for sure on him. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe he even has his own. I didn't check actually.
no, I don't. He doesn't
Okay.
from memory.
Okay. All right, but yeah, this is not the Golbez podcast though. So
Well,
jumping back to
this
Onion
is
Knight,
the
is there? There's one
this is
more
the
thing.
slightly worse Golbez
Yeah, this is a slightly
podcast.
worse Golbez podcast, and there's one thing we should mention about him, and that like an interesting interaction. So, in his shift form as Sage, he has a party AOE buff to all AOE offensive black magic, including well, Eroga, Blizzaga, Faraga.
All the chaining ones, basically.
Yeah, and Quake, sorry, and Tornado. And the interesting part about that is that it's actually a quite hefty modifier. It's 150x, and you know who like 6x has modifiers? No.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Ah, okay,
I
okay,
mean, I
fine,
know,
fine.
but
It's
I
Vivi,
thought you.
everyone's favorite black mage. So this like
Hooray!
somebody should do some calcs on this. I wonder how good it is to do like Vivi Steiner and NVA Onion.
Mm. Well, the thing is, it is a smaller mod boost than Marilith provides on Fire. Just for reference,
Oh, it is.
Marilith does
I thought
plus 200 for Fire.
but I remember Sinzar saying this is better than.
Mm. I think Vivi's innate mod for Faraga is better, and this can also have much better uptime than Marilith's one, which is only like a 2 or 3 turns every 10.
Oh, right, right. Yeah, yeah. This is basically 100%
Yeah,
because as
but
long as you can use
the
VV.
actual mod's not going to be a significant upgrade from the Marilith combo,
Ah, okay,
and
okay.
because they don't buff the same spells, like one's Faraga, one's Fyra, so you can't stack them together.
Ah, shame, shame. But it's interesting. It could be fun. Like
Yeah,
there is a fire weak
it's an
stage. Maybe you can
alternative.
use VV.
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't require pulling the base Envy Marilith, who I'm sure a bunch of people probably still don't actually have.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. I was hoping to actually get her. I really like VV and would take any chance to him. But yeah.
Oh, the other thing is Marilith is obviously only for fire, whereas this you can do fire, ice, or lightning, so it works for all three.
Yeah,
But I
true.
think fire is still Vivi's highest mod
Yeah, doesn't he
innately.
have something Yeah, exactly. He has something special for fire.
It's only a small advantage over ice and lightning, though. I think.
All right. At least there's
Yeah.
something. There's a nice interaction that
Yeah.
the people should be aware of.
Yeah. So Onion has a few potential uses that are decent,
Yeah,
which is frankly all you can ask for from an NVA.
true, true. It's actually not bad as an like. It's not a monster like Golbez, but it's definitely a decent.
Yeah. Decent versatile addition.
Yeah.
His shift duration is slightly annoying because it's kind of very old style, where it's the shift can last as long as you want, but there's like a 2 to 3 turn cooldown on the actual form shifting.
Right,
So
right.
so you have to stay in each form for a minimum amount of time. But usually that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
No, I don't. I mean, nobody's gonna use him. So it's not gonna be a problem at all.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for any given fight, you're mostly going to want to stick to one form or the other, depending on what you're bringing him for.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna be shifting back and forth between magic and.
Probably not.
So yeah, those are the units. Not too exciting unless you're me and are hoping
Yeah.
for an Ingus for Regina and not getting him. But
But
we
yeah,
did get DV.
they're decent flexible units that
Yeah,
aren't top tier.
nothing too crazy and surprisingly well designed. Honestly, this
Mm.
for units.
Yeah. So we
So
got
maybe we should just mention
it
DV a bit. Like I know it's not much to say yet because it hasn't unlocked for us yet, according.
hasn't. I thought DV started now,
Yeah,
or
yeah, but like
is it the final stages?
exactly the actual difficult stage. I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the bring the same team and clear all stages.
Fair enough.
But that the magic stage is gonna be fire and ice, right? So that's actually
Hmm.
pretty nice for Regina for whoever pulled her.
Yeah,
Uh,
she can actually use her ice cooldown for once.
yeah, and then we have Tsuki, right? She's gonna magic stage.
Yeah, for like her personal fire damage is just okay, especially outside of Clash, but she also does decent fire support with the Imperial Field.
Yep.
And then obviously like Olive can be good with her natural fire stuff.
Yeah, yeah. All of is with any element. That's really nice, but
Yeah.
she can actually less support, I guess.
Yeah. And you can
Um.
imbue Golbez with fire.
Yeah. Golbez, fucking Golbez. Yeah, it's probably enough to just bring us in cap.
Mm,
And then for the we have Earth and Dark. So
yeah.
yeah,
Just
that's a
bring
no-brainer.
yeah, Sylvie, Wilk, Chizuru, that the usual.
Yeah, exactly. Wilk is. I
Mm,
actually just recently got Wilk, so this might be the first DV I bring.
mm. Yeah, it's in a weird spot, I feel, because like I've had him for a bit now. I didn't get him initially, but I've pulled a couple off banner, and I haven't really used him.
Okay.
So I don't know. But then again, I also haven't really try harded an uncappable DV, so
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that's
same. I
probably
also
why.
got Wilk recently and haven't yet either. Still trying to figure out if this unit is ever going to see any.
Yeah. I mean, he is objectively good, but he's just awkward to use.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the final stage, and this is interesting, we should definitely mention this. We mentioned it weeks ago as well. This is the first DD in a long time that's actually elemental.
Yeah, the first non-vision world one.
Yeah, exactly. And this
But
is
yeah,
so it's a fire, water,
um,
and light stage, which
yeah,
is
it's got 3 elements at least, like
yeah,
Clash, rather than just one. So that's not too bad.
exactly. And but the elements are a bit awkward for us in GL. I mean, awkward because we're used to fucking breaking things with Sylvie. But we're actually not bringing it to this fight, I guess.
Why not?
So
Unless there's one of her other many useful things that are needed, but with how little DV bosses tend to do to the team, probably can cut her.
yeah, it's usually like 5 DPS and one element for whatever element. But it's interesting. So fire, water, light. That means so technically Titus is our second strongest damage dealer still.
Yep. Titus
So
and Jake are both pretty good. And Nicole is actually a very, very good water support currently with both the 50% Imperial Field and the 100% stacking water amp for someone,
yeah,
along with 45 for the rest of the team.
yeah.
So water's actually pretty solid for this one.
Yeah, and there's also as an alternative to nickel, depending on who else, you also songs do 100%
Mm.
amp to somebody.
She doesn't have the field though.
No, she
So
doesn't, but she instead brings her own damage, balance it out. I don't know. It depends.
what damage?
Oh, come on, come on. She has an LB that does damage. It's like some
He
damage.
exists.
It exists, yeah. I guess like maybe somebody's gonna bring Knights of Grandsheld, although I feel like aren't they not good?
Yeah, they're a little outdated. I mean, on fights that are A, lightweight, and B, hard to gear for killers, they can still gear well, and their mod is still pretty impressive at 450 after
Yeah,
Titus Spirit. Actually, I think they can get 550 with Titus STMR.
it's
So,
570
yeah.
according to Sinzar in the whale sheet.
Oh, that's with the plus 20 from Sylvie LB as well.
Ah, of course. Oh yeah, that's why I almost forgot.
Well, It might not be worth just for that if you've
No.
got another source of good stat and LB buffs, but
But then Yuna, maybe people might be bringing
possibly.
Yuna. She actually does decent damage. She does more than Knights of Grandshield.
I,
So
yeah, I guess evoking Una is reasonably good.
especially like if the, she could be a really great last DPS on your once you've exhausted because she doesn't need, so that could be an
Yeah,
interesting
possibly.
approach.
If you're running out and still have damage slots to gear.
I mean, I'm obviously going to try to cap the Regina first, like a actual 5 sacrifice Regina. But if I
Mhm.
can't, I'll probably Regina anyway and just like a one helper version instead.
Yeah. I mean, since you can't use ice for that final stage, which element will you be supporting her with?
Well, shit, she does take a hit. You can't use ice that do
Yeah.
give her a bit bigger amps, but then I'll probably use whatever I have,
Mm,
whatever I choose for the party, which sounds like water
yeah.
now.
Yeah, I assume if you've got EX2 Nicol, then water is the best option for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So let's see if I could to cap. Although since ice isn't possible on the last stage, that's probably possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Or who knows? Maybe the boss will do enough attacks that fucking Berserker Riku will just fuck everything up
Oh
and
man, that would be
destroy
so good.
balance.
That would be funny though. If that happens, like bringing Nicole and Riku and just countering it to death. Like we should mention this. I don't know if all listeners have seen it. The one
We have
trick
mentioned it
recently
before.
discovered. Have we? The
Yeah, I think so.
the Behemi trick?
Oh, not the Beheading trick,
Yeah.
no.
Because like that's quite interesting. Most of
Well,
you know that Behemi has this debuff for enemies that gives them cover, which is kind of this niche ability that you could give a multi-unit boss cover and then do like 5 times damage on a single. But what you can do is this classic trick of weaving it into attacks and then targeting Riku with the attacks. Very,
wait,
sorry.
I'm just thinking, isn't the Behemi trick's only relevant in Clash because of EX levels, though, I think, because outside of Clash you can just use Rivera instead
You
as a
can
much
use
easier
Rivera,
option.
but not if you actually need a tank to tank for a while,
I
which would
guess, but again, that's not going to happen in DV.
probably not, probably not. So let's just hope this boss attacks enough so beat him next week. That would be nice. Although it
No,
really, really
no,
depends on
no,
the
it
amount of
wouldn't.
attacks.
Yeah, people, and then people would be rolling for max counter procs and rerunning that all the time.
Yeah.
No, for uncappable content, that's not healthy for balance.
So is this uncappable or no?
Yes, it's uncappable.
Oh
It's got
no.
50k. It's got 50k rank one reward.
Oh no. That like oh my god, I'm almost expecting Sinzar to quit the game.
I mean, regular DV being uncappable is kind of standard at this point. It's usually just
Yeah.
Vision Worlds
I
that
guess,
we
but
can
I know
cap.
that people hate when DV is uncappable.
Yeah, it kind of sucks,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest.
I mean, especially like you just mentioned, like if Riku works, people be rerunning this forever to get both high variance rolls and high counter, which honestly doesn't sound like
It's the
fun.
worst.
Yeah, it's
It's,
horrible. But yeah, and then of course, obviously Golbez. We should mention Golbez, of course, since he is still the
yeah.
strongest damage dealer right now. You're
Mm,
gonna bring him.
again, I think we did already.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
least
we did. So not much more to say really.
see,
It's gonna be an interesting
we
DV. Gonna force us to do a bit of different elements. That's nice. Maybe people, I mean, Surge. People are gonna bring
yeah.
Surge for sure.
Oh yes, yeah. Surge will probably be in top ranked teams for the final stage, just because
To get
being the
alongside
only one fit.
Golbez.
Yeah, the only 150 amp currently.
Yeah, yeah. All right,
But
that's it, right? Did we
we
miss anything?
we did also get the next 12 race trials catastrophe.
Wait, we did? Oh my god, I missed
Yeah.
this entirely. Oh, so what is this race?
This is the spirit one or fairy, depending on where you look.
Oh, okay, okay,
Uh,
nice.
um,
And what
so
are its
this
elements?
has
This is another one of those element resist trials, right? Yes, it's
yeah
water
yeah
and
all
light.
of yes, light is the primary weakness, I guess.
Yeah,
Water is secondary,
right.
but water has slightly better imperil field options, so both can probably be pretty equal.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't have Tsuki, I'm assuming water is going to be greatest because who else has a light impact?
Yeah, yeah. If you don't have Tsuki and do have Nicole, then you're probably using water
Yeah,
for
because
this.
like you can't even. Well, I mean, of course you can. Like, since it's only 190, so Sinzar mentioned this that like we're stepping down a bit in this craziness. So the light
Yeah,
resistance is 190, meaning that if you have somebody like Reagan return, for
yeah.
instance,
Or
Kuja,
well, you probably yeah, Kuja would drop it to 30%, which is probably good enough to use on its own.
Yeah. What would nickel go down to? So nickel has a 150 plus 40, right?
He has a 50% field and a 135 skill.
Ah,
So
sorry.
by
Okay.
himself, he would drop it by 185 down to 25%.
So that's very close, basically.
Yeah, and yeah, slightly better. And you could technically bring another higher water and peril slot. Like if you had Lulu alongside, that would drop it to 0.
Oh, that's a pretty big increase actually.
Yeah,
But
I
then
mean,
but then you're
from
bringing 2 units, right? So depends.
yeah. But Lulu is also potentially like your spirit breaker if you're using mages.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
guess.
yes, Kuja does the same for light, but then you need a light amper and imbuer.
Yeah, exactly. So you'd be
So it's
bringing
probably
Fina then instead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably 2 support slots either way.
Yeah.
Again, both are viable.
Interesting. Well, I'm gonna have fun with this. This sounds
Yeah.
pretty fun, and I wonder how bulky it is, and if you can like
Mm.
Regina it to
It's
next.
mhm. I don't I don't think it's like a step up from the last couple really. So that's probably fine.
Okay.
And it
Well, the
it
last one
doesn't
was
seem
weak
super
to ice,
threatening
though.
either.
Just to put that out there, the last one was weak to ice,
Yeah.
and that I could kill with Gina in 5 turns, solo. But
Okay.
I'm
Might
not
be a
sure
bit
about this
slower
one
than
though,
that.
because water and light are not like Regina needs. Like if she's not using ice, she needs at least earth, and it's not.
Mm,
So it'll
yeah.
work.
Uh, Earth doesn't make a big difference for her if you're externally supporting the other elements well.
It's just that like if since you're not using the ice ability, using her pentacast, and there's a bigger there's a bigger mod boost on the earth
Yeah.
imbue than on the other
Mm,
abilities.
yeah.
So
But it's not a massive mod boost
no, I
overall.
guess I guess it does triple dip, but yeah,
Yeah.
it is dwarfed by the actual other mod boost like the sacrifices.
Mm.
Anyway, I need to stop talking about
Oh.
Regina. I feel like I'm mentioning her in every episode. I need to stop doing that.
Mm.
But interesting
You're
that we got this
obsessed.
trial.
Yeah. Honestly, I've fallen behind on these 12 races. I'm like 3 behind at this point.
Oh, really? Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, it's bad form for me.
My interest was really revived with Regina. Obviously, I did say I was not talking about
Yeah.
her, but it seems like an interesting trial. So let's see. It doesn't seem too difficult, though, which might.
Yeah, I don't think it's a very threatening one. There's just a bit of AoE earth magic, some fixed damage, which can get dangerous when it's at low health. I think it can do up to 40k per turn AoE,
Right.
but you can mitigate that with general mitigation,
That should
so
work out.
that'll help.
Like bringing somebody like Sylvie or something.
Yeah, and then there's just some like AoE dispel and petrify and earth and peril and stuff. Some
Oof.
single target charm and death that you can resist.
All right. Interesting. I
Yeah,
can't wait to try it out.
yeah. I think overall it shouldn't be too hard. I think Rafflesia is still the hardest of the ones that have been released.
Right. At least the bulkiest, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't compared the stat numbers, but
Yeah.
anyway, I think that's about us.
Yeah, I think so too. Interesting. I'm so happy that you mentioned this because I completely missed this. So this gives me something else to do this week as well while waiting for DV to unlock. Cool. So all right, I think that's it then.
Yeah,
Do you have like a good outro joke?
another good one. Nope, I am tired.
Yeah, really sexual jokes usually works. If you have one of those up your sleeve, like you can go do it now.
Go fuck yourself.
Nice. I like it.